Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tea and Talk Podcasts. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jessica. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a really exciting episode lined up.
That's right, Jessica. We're diving into health and wellness hacks, longevity, fitness routines, mental health, and even a little bit of biohacking. Here's something wild, Pat. Scientists now predict humans could potentially live to 150 years, but most of us are doing almost everything wrong when it comes to longevity. The gap between what's possible and what we're actually achieving is staggering.
That's fascinating, and you know what's even more mind-blowing? I just read about someone tracking 432 different health metrics daily. Talk about information overload?
Well, let's break this down because there's so much to unpack here. When we look at places where people naturally live past 100, these famous blue zones like Okinawa and Sardinia, they're not tracking a single metric. They're just living in a way that promotes health naturally.
Hmm, that's such an interesting contrast. These communities have been practicing what we now call health hacks for generations, without any of the fancy terminology or expensive gadgets.
Exactly right. And here's what really gets me. While we're spending billions on fitness tech and supplements, these communities achieve extraordinary longevity through simple daily practices. Studies show that Okinawan centenarians typically maintain small vegetable gardens well into their 90s.
So, what do you think is driving this disconnect between our high-tech approach and their simpler, more effective methods?
Well, I believe it's our obsession with optimization and quick fixes. Look at the recovery industry. People are dropping thousands on cryotherapy chambers when research shows that simple practices like adequate sleep can provide similar benefits. The global wellness industry is now worth over $4.5 trillion, yet chronic disease rates keep climbing.
That's exactly what I was thinking about with all these sleep tracking devices. We're using technology to fix problems that technology created in the first place.
Right. And speaking of sleep, studies show that 95% of people check their phones within 5 minutes of waking up, disrupting their natural cortisol rhythms. We're literally sabotaging our biology while trying to optimize it.
And don't even get me started on the mental health tech landscape. The meditation app market alone is projected to reach $4 billion by 2027, but depression rates have increased by 25% globally since the pandemic.
You know what's really interesting about that? Traditional meditation practices were always about disconnecting from external stimuli, but now we're adding more screens and notifications to the process. It's like we're solving problems by creating new ones.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of how we've overcomplicated exercise too. The fitness industry has exploded into this $96 billion market, but basic movement patterns that our ancestors did naturally are still the most effective.
That's such a crucial point. Research shows that simply walking for 30 minutes daily can reduce mortality risk by up to 20%. No fancy equipment needed. And here's another mind-blowing stat. Studies of blue zone communities show they naturally move about 5 to 7 miles per day just through regular activities.
Oh wow, that really puts our step counting obsession into perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and let's talk about biohacking for a moment. The market is expected to reach $44 billion by 2026, but some of the most effective hacks are completely free. Take cold exposure. Studies show a 1-minute cold shower can increase metabolic rate by up to 350% and boost immune function.
Well, that's fascinating because it ties back to what you were saying about simplicity versus complexity. These basic interventions often have the most robust scientific backing.
Exactly. And here's what's really interesting. Research from Harvard shows that strong social connections have a bigger impact on longevity than quitting smoking or maintaining a healthy weight. Yet we're spending more time optimizing our workout routines than building meaningful relationships.
That brings up such an important point about priorities and where we're putting our energy and resources.
And speaking of resources, let's look at the cost factor. The average American spends about $155 per month on health and fitness. But the longest lived populations in the world spend virtually nothing on wellness. They just have environments and social structures that naturally promote health.
So, what you're suggesting is that maybe the real health hack is simplifying rather than adding more complexity?
Precisely. The data consistently shows that the basics quality sleep, regular movement, whole foods, strong relationships, and stress management account for about 80% of our health outcomes. Everything else is just optimization at the margins.
That's really powerful. Any final thoughts on how people can start implementing this balanced approach?
Well, I think it starts with understanding that health isn't a destination but a daily practice. The research shows that small, consistent habits compound over time, just like how those blue zone communities achieve extraordinary results through simple, sustained behaviors. Maybe the most innovative thing we can do is stop trying to innovate so much.
And the best part is, we're not doing this alone. We have an amazing guest with us today, Dr. Sophia Reynolds. She's a nutritionist, fitness consultant, and biohacking expert who has spent over a decade helping people improve their health and live longer, more energized lives.
Dr. Reynolds, welcome to Tea and Talk.
Thank you, Mark and Jessica. I'm thrilled to be here. Health and wellness are my passions, and I love sharing practical tips that anyone can apply.
Let's start with the big question on everyone's mind: longevity. People want to live longer, but more importantly, live healthier. What's one simple thing we can do today to support longevity?
Great question. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. One of the most powerful habits is daily movement. It doesn't have to be intense workouts. Even walking 30 minutes a day can reduce the risk of chronic disease and support brain health.
That's encouraging. So it's not about running marathons, but about being consistent.
Exactly. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to longevity.
Now, fitness routines are something we hear a lot about. Everyone wants to know the perfect workout. Is there such a thing?
Honestly, the perfect workout is the one you'll stick to. But if I had to choose, I'd say a combination of strength training and cardio is ideal. Strength training helps maintain muscle mass as we age, and cardio supports heart and lung health.
So lifting some weights and then going for a brisk walk is better than just running on a treadmill for an hour?
Absolutely. And don't forget flexibility and balance exercises like yoga or Pilates. They help prevent injuries.
I want to shift gears a little bit to mental health. We've all seen how stress impacts our bodies. What are some wellness hacks for keeping our minds healthy?
One of my favorites is mindful breathing. Just 5 minutes a day of deep breathing or meditation can lower cortisol levels, improve focus, and even boost immune function.
That sounds doable. I think most people imagine meditation as sitting in silence for an hour, but you're saying even a few minutes makes a difference.
Exactly. It's not about perfection. It's about making small daily practices that add up.
Okay, now the fun part: biohacking. The word sounds futuristic, almost like science fiction. What does it really mean?
Biohacking is simply using science and self-experimentation to optimize your health. It could be as simple as tracking your sleep with an app or adjusting your diet based on how your body responds. More advanced biohackers might try cold exposure, intermittent fasting, or even red light therapy.
That's fascinating. I've heard of cold showers being a biohack. Do those actually work?
Yes, they do. Cold exposure can improve circulation, strengthen your immune system, and increase mental resilience.
I don't know if I'm brave enough for that, but it's good to know the science backs it up.
Dr. Reynolds, one thing people struggle with is staying motivated. We start new routines, but they fade quickly. What's your advice?
Focus on small, sustainable habits. Instead of saying, I'll work out for an hour every day, start with 10 minutes. Build confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Over time, those habits compound.
So it's less about drastic changes and more about creating momentum.
Exactly. Think of it as building a lifestyle, not following a temporary program.
Before we wrap up, let's do something fun. Dr. Reynolds, if you could give our listeners 3 quick wellness hacks to start today, what would they be?
Hydrate more. Aim for at least 2 liters of water daily. Prioritize sleep. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is non-negotiable for recovery. Move often. Take breaks from sitting, stretch, and walk whenever you can. Those are simple, but so powerful.
I love that. Nothing extreme. Just things anyone can do right away.
Dr. Reynolds, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been eye-opening.
My pleasure. I hope your listeners take away at least one new habit to try. Small steps lead to big change.
And to our audience, thank you for listening to Tea and Talk Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your own favorite wellness hack.
We'd love to hear what's working for you. Until next time, stay healthy,
Morning
stay positive,
sunlight
and keep the tea flowing.
filters through the blinds. We settle in, hearts and curious minds. Porcelain mugs cradle words we shared. Stories steeping in the rising air. Tea and talk where our worlds collide. Sip by sip we take the ride. Pour your thoughts into this space. Every voice finds its place. We wander through the highs and lows, unravel tales in quiet flows. Between the sips and whispered lines, we find our truths in steady times. Ooh, every pause is room to breathe. Confessions tucked in every leaf. A cup of warmth can heal a heart. Together here we're never apart. So join the circle, pull up a chair. Tea and talk will meet you there.